everybody, it's Ashley and welcome back to my channel. So, a couple of things. So, last week, I know I said I was going to be more consistent. I don't know how realistic that is. I don't know how realistic that is for me, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But last week I didn't post a video for a couple of reasons. Number one, because the world was kind of falling apart, and by the world I just mean specifically America. Because we cannot get it together. And so it kind of felt silly considering what was going on to post a video. So I didn't. This week I was planning on either doing one of two things, which was either a makeup video or a clothing haul video. The makeup video fell through because of me, because I mean, I just cannot make myself go to Ulta at the moment. I don't know what it is. I've gotten like 3 Ulta gift cards for Christmas, so it's not even like I would have to spend my own money, but just the thought of going to the store is just like gross to me. Like, I just can't make myself do it. So that's put on hold. And the clothes that I bought, they haven't all come in yet. So that's going to be put on hold. Hopefully by next week I can do that, because it's been quite some time since I've done a clothing haul. Mostly because I wear scrubs every day. But today, just so we can get a video, just so I can get back in the swing of things. And I thought it would also be cool to kind of address some of the things that are going on in the world, in my life, and that I can do some self-care maybe and do my nails. So I got some really ugly nails. I got some really ugly nails that I'm going to put on, but I mean, I bought them. I can't return it because I already took it out of the box, whatever. I don't know why I bought them, but here we are, and I'm just gonna do my nails while I chit chat with you. So if you kind of want to hear me ramble on about, then just keep watching. Things, see, and I hope you notice this, because once again, started off the year like, ooh, hopefully things are better, and then the next thing you know, people are trying to break down the doors at the Capitol because somebody lost. Like, it's kind of interesting, and I'm sure a lot of you have noticed this, that over the past year, whenever there were a lot of Black Lives Matter protests, and I mean, granted, some of them did descend into chaos. I mean, a Target was lost, you know, and not rolling my eyes like it doesn't matter, but people were actually dying. So I find that's more important than a Target store. Granted, shouldn't have happened. We shouldn't descend into chaos. But I also do think that the reason why it descended into chaos was because of the opposition to the peaceful protest. I think that whenever people are being peaceful and then they are met with pushback that's not so peaceful, that it could breed chaos. That's just kind of my perspective on it. But I did find it interesting that there were a lot of people, and a lot of people that I'm friends with on social media too, that they had a lot of problems with what was going on over this past summer. They just thought it was ridiculous. Like, oh my gosh, they brought up all of the stupid, dumb statistics about black on black crime and blah, blah, blah. You know how people tend to do, to minimize things. And so it was just really interesting to see that what happened on the 6th, like, crickets. No one was saying anything. Nobody was condemning their actions. Like, I did find it really interesting that, like, all of those things were happening. I mean, I saw videos from the Blue Lives Matter people over this past year. The Blue Lives Matter people made it seem like blue lives didn't really matter. And over the summer, they had such a problem with the peaceful protests that were going on to protest police brutality. And then whenever police officers are trying to keep them from, I don't know, literally breaking into the Capitol, they are pigs. They're pushing them, trampling them, beating them. And it's like some of y'all really need some counseling and a really nice clean mirror. because if y'all thought that what was happening over the summer was a problem, y'all are protesting because somebody lost an election. Like, we're not alike. Like, this is not the same. And this is not to excuse what has happened over the summer. Like I said, I don't condone violence. I don't think that things should descend into chaos. But I think that whenever you go to a peaceful protest and there are people lined up in riot gear and they're, you know, it kind of breeds that chaos. It kind of makes it to where people are like, okay, well, if you're going to treat me like this, I'm going to give you something to treat me like that about. Like, that's something that my mom said whenever I was younger. She was like, you know, if you're going to cry, I'm going to give you something to cry about. Protesting over people dying and protesting over a lost election where that person continuously claims that it was stolen when there's no evidence of that happening. Like, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry that you lost, but sometimes it be like that. Can't win them all. So that was just very interesting, and I found myself getting like really mad about it. And I try not to let it get me that mad because it's not shocking. It's not surprising. I just didn't think that it would happen there, like on the Capitol. That was something that was, I guess, kind of shocking to me, but protesting because he lost, that was not surprising to me at all. They are now doing the same thing, and now it's Antifa. But honestly, the Antifa excuse is sounding a lot like the dog ate my homework excuse. When you know that you did something wrong, but you want to blame it on something or somebody else so that you don't have to take full responsibility for it. There was also something going on in LA, and this poor black lady got like assaulted because she didn't vote for the orange man. And I'm like, I mean, once again, this goes for both sides. You can't go around assaulting people because you didn't get what you wanted. That doesn't solve anything. That just makes you a monster. That just makes you a psycho. You need counseling. I know you've heard an ad for BetterHelp. Go look into it, because if that's the only way you know how to deal with your anger and the way things have turned out, then you need some counseling. Like, that's not okay. So, didn't post a video last week because of that, because I wasn't in the mood and I was really mad and it just didn't seem right to post a video. But moving on to what's happening now, which... see, super easy. You can just like stick these on like a sticker and it's nice. I mean, overall my nails they still look horrendous, but it's like I put a fresh coat of paint on a dilapidated building, so we're gonna roll with it. But moving on to this week. So recently, and if you're new here, hello. I usually don't rant this much. I usually do something or try to do something cool. I don't know. But I work at a mental health hospital, and I have recently been moved to the acute unit. I was like on the general adult unit, and now I'm on the acute unit, which means the really, really sick people. And so I initially did not want to work on that unit, and being fresh out of school too, I think I kind of doubted my abilities in being able to do anything of value with that population. I mean, these people are really, really, really sick, and I didn't think that I would be doing them any justice as like a newbie, straight out of school. I mean, I haven't really had that much experience with that population specifically. So I was high-key concerned, but I usually like to roll with things. So my coworker, and it's so funny because I really do get this, but she said that I'm like a duck that's swimming, because I'm like, I look calm on the surface, but underneath my legs are just like going a million miles a minute. And I think that's true. So I don't usually show like that I'm stressed or that I'm nervous or that I'm like, and that used to be my MO. I used to be just a big giant ball of stress, but now I try to keep that under wraps, and especially helping people who are already sick. Like, it's not about me. It's not about me at all, not even a little bit. And so whenever I'm at work, I want to be there for them 100%. I don't want my own like feelings or worries to get in the way of helping them. And so I just rolled with it. I didn't say anything, but I was just kind of like, I mean, this is gonna be interesting. But it was fine. It was good. I felt like I was kind of getting used to things, and I started learning the patients because they're also there for longer periods of time too. So I felt like I was able to help them more than I thought that I was going to. But this week, girl, this week, can somebody tell me, is Mercury in retrograde? Is there like a special moon or star coming, or like somebody tell me what is going on, because it is hard this week. And I think that's also been another reason why I haven't felt like filming, because I've just been struggling. Because I'll get home and I'm just like, I don't want to do anything. And that even carries over into the weekend, because I could, in theory, film on the weekends, but I'm just like so drained from the week that I literally just sit there and I don't do anything. I don't do anything on the weekends. And I like it that way because it gives me that break, but that means I just dropped a nail. But that also means that it's a lot harder to film during the week, because I'll get home and on weeks like this week, it's like I just don't want to do anything because I'm not really in the mood. Like I'm just not my best. I'm not my happiest self, I guess. And I just feel like I don't want to put on a brave face and pretend. And so I was going to kind of cop out this week too, but like I said, I knew that I said I was going to try to be more consistent. And I think that even though now I'm out of school and I don't have that excuse, work has become my excuse, where it's just like there are some weeks where you're so drained by the time you get off, by the time you get to the weekend, that it's like doing anything outside of just laying on the couch and being is hard. I mean, yesterday wasn't the best. It wasn't as bad as Monday and Tuesday, but I mean, I still got called like, and this is a quote, so sorry for the language, but I got called a piece of shit that needed to be thrown away. So, and I obviously don't take any of this stuff to heart because it's coming from people who are sick. Some of them, they don't actually mean that. They're really nice, but when they get agitated, sometimes they just say those things. Or some of them, they actually do mean it. But I mean, like I said, this is not about me. So you can call me like whatever you want. And I've been called a lot at this job. There are some days that are way better than others, and this week is just kind of one of those weeks where it's a week that's a lot worse than others. So yeah, it hasn't been the best time, but it seems to be getting better. I hope. That could have just jinxed everything. So that's another thing that I've been struggling with, and just giving myself the grace, because I feel like with YouTube and stuff, I've been like, oh, you need to post, and it became like another thing on my to-do list, and I don't want that to be the case. So all of that being said, I do want to make it more of a point to post whenever I'm in a good space to do it, and not because I feel like I have to. Because while I do like making videos, some days it's just harder than others. And I want to be able to give myself that that pass, that free pass to be like, well, you know, you don't feel like it, don't film. You know, I did want to give you guys kind of like a heads up that it's probably not going to be as consistent as I thought it was going to be. But I do hope that y'all are having a good time this year. That y'all are having a better time, that work is going good for you, your relationships are going good for you, that everything is going good for you, even if it's not so great over here. But it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you in advance for understanding where I'm coming from and the things that I might be dealing with, because it's just been kind of a difficult time. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you want to see from me down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Probably ring the bell as well, so you know whenever I post, since it probably won't be every single week. I'll try, but mental health is more important. So Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.